Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, my name is Ramaila, and all we do here is we learn, we grow, and we contribute. So you are catching me in light of the APC series. I have posted quite a number of videos, guys. That was not the intention, but things were unraveling as and when I was speaking, and I wanted to make sure that I am giving as much insight as I could possible. So today is like the second last video that I am posting on the APC series. I am loving your comments in the comment section and as well as on LinkedIn. I see you guys have some motivational things for me, and I really do appreciate it because I love pouring out, and when I get poured in with your comments, that just makes me even more grateful and even more happy that I can do this for you guys. So in light of Mental Health Awareness Month, it is the month of May. It is almost complete. It is almost done. And every day on my way to work, I have been listening to podcasts as a part of my mental health regimen because I am an advocate for healthy living, not just your physical healthy living, but your emotional and your spiritual well-being is something that I feel is so important. So to marry mental health into APC series is something which I think is extremely important because we battle a lot with mental health, especially when we are preparing for APC. I remember the fact that I got through it on its own was for me like a bit overwhelming, right? Especially also walking into APC. I touched on the fact that in my previous video, I sought out therapy towards the very end of APC because I was extremely overwhelmed and I just didn't know what was going on. Like the year had its own challenges, but I think the fact that I had this pressure on myself that I've worked so long and so hard to get where I was, and I was not emotionally fine, and I was not mentally stable, and I was struggling, and it was okay for me to admit that I was not okay and that I was struggling. So I would like to encourage you, as you are stepping into your APC, make sure that your family really understands what they can do for you in this time of preparation, what your friends can do for you if you are in a relationship, speaking to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, telling them, listen, it's lit, and I need you to support me. And support looks different for different people. Sometimes I just want silence. I don't want nobody talking to me. I don't like notifications on my phone. I just want to be by myself, to myself. So I tell my husband, I'm like, certain days, please not now. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything. And it's not out of disrespect. It's because I just feel like I want to center myself and pull myself towards myself. So whatever it is that you may need and whatever type of support you think is necessary for you, it's best that you, number one, communicate it, but also hold yourself accountable, because along the way I was stepping into myself and I was feeling a bit of withdrawal, right? Because there was a lot going on at work, there's a lot going on with APC, but that just meant that like I was very bland in the year. Like I felt like my family needs to understand, but like a part of me was like, I also need to understand that they're also trying to be there for me, and they might not know the best way to be there for me, and I can't like be mad at them because of the fact that they're also doing their best. So you do your best, let them do their best, and like have a bi-weekly catch up and just try and find out how you're doing, find out how your family is doing. A part of that is also having the support of your group members. Now, I know sometimes your group members are people that you just found because it's APC, we're all in the struggle together, so they really understand what you're going through, but sometimes they're not your friends, right? And I think I got lucky at the end where my friends now became my APC group. But what that did for me is that every evening, I think on Monday to Thursday, we set up this call from 7 until 9, and it was like a ghost call where the call is there, it's available, it's accessible. Whether you join the call, whether you don't join the call, that's all on you, right? But we wanted to give each other support and be accountability partners for each person. So sometimes I was on a deadline, I have to cook when I come back home, and I just didn't want to join the call. I just didn't want to. But my friends are the ones that were on the on the other side. So for me, that kind of motivated me to join the call, where as opposed, if it was a stranger, I would have been like, I don't owe that person nothing. Like, I don't need to join no call. But because they were my friends, I kind of just felt more of a pull to join that call. And even though some of us weren't there every day, but that open call was there, and we were there most days. And I remember it was so encouraging because for the first like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we just complain and we vent about work, about relationships, about family. Like, we just going on and getting it out of our system, because having things bottle up kind of mess with how you learn, kind of mess with how you show up for yourself. So we didn't want to have all that clutter. So we were like, okay guys, 15 minutes, let's go in. Oh, this person did this person did that, this person, so that we get it out of our system, so that we are having a very efficient session. Now in those weekly calls, it was different for everyone, right? Because I mean, we don't have the same clients and we aligned our schedules, but at the same time we were doing different things. So for example, we'd be catching up on a lecture, we'd be reflecting on what we learned in the previous lectures. When we were discussing assignments, we would discuss what we thought were the issues, what we thought my thought process was, and what my considerations were. So we were just doing what was able to be done in that period. So every week was different, right? I don't want to give you a schedule to say your weekly calls must focus on XYZ, but we kind of assessed where we were at that point in time, and that's what governed the call and throughout the whole week, and how we went about that schedule. But having access to that call is what also motivated us to stay on track. The other thing that motivated us to stay on track was the fact that on Saturdays we would be disciplined enough to say, guys, every Saturday, and I think it was towards the second assessment, where every Saturday we were in the office. Guys, it was so painful going to the office every Saturday. I won't even lie, because I mentioned on this platform that I don't live with my daughter, so I fetch her every Friday, every weekend. So for the most part, another part of my mental health toll struggle was the fact that like I really felt like an absent parent, because every Saturday I was like, peace out, I'm going to the office, I need to go put in the work. And it was painful, guys, emotionally. Having to deal with issues like you're abandoning your child, and I mean, I'm being extreme, but that's not what was happening. She was with her father, like the person that contributed to her birth. So it's not like I was leaving her to the dogs, but I was feeling like I'm abandoning my child. Like, how am I in pursuit of something that I really want, but I'm abandoning what's important to me? And for the most part, APC year, the journey makes you feel like you're abandoning things that you care about. And I feel like I want to change that narrative for you and say, it is not abandonment when you are in pursuit of purpose, in pursuit of your goals. Because if you use that frame of mindset of abandoning, it's this pull of every week that, do I really have to do this? Is it really that important? Does it really matter? And you kind of forget that you did 3 years of a degree, you did CTA, you did ITC, you've been doing articles, like you've invested so much. And when it matters the most, like I feel like negative self-talk, all your insecurities come at you hard, you know? And I dealt with that, and I was feeling like I don't know what to do with it. And that was another reason why I went to therapy, was because I felt like I was just an absent parent throughout the entire year, over and above the fact that like I just wasn't fine. I just was not fine. And mental health is something that I feel like should be spoken about with the context of saying, if you take care of yourself mentally, right, it's important to also take care of yourself spiritually and physically. So I don't want to forsake the fact that a part of my mental health, I exercised as often as I could. Now, I do understand that some deadlines are deadlier than others, you know? And when I speak that deadlines are deadlier than others, guys, trust me, because I'm on hectic clients. But I feel like I had to put exercise in my mental health journey during APC, because with exercising, I felt like I was releasing stress. Like I heard another colleague was mine telling me I should try boxing, and I was like, girl, I feel like I'm going to take you up on that, because sometimes you hold on to tension in your mind and you stay in your mind, and you need endorphins, and you need a release, and you need some sort of, man, I need to run, and that's what I did. And I'm not saying that I was like a gym bunny every day, all day. That's who I was. But I tried to make sure that 3 times a week I was exercising, even if it's just 30 minutes, guys. Like, there is so many platforms out there, social media, Instagram, Pinterest, even Twitter. I don't know, I'm not a Twitter user, but there's like exercises, influencers, gym fanatics that you can follow that have like quick 15-20 minute exercises that you can do at home, just so that you can just release some tension in your mind, so that shackles can just fall off and you are more present in your studying, in your working. So I really encourage you to take on exercising, guys. Walk your dog, walk outside, take a few steps. I know some of y'all have got those smart watches, make sure the step count is going up so that you are releasing the tension. Another thing was my spiritual needs were, guys, spiritual, then physical, then mental. That's just how I roll. So my spiritual relationship had to be like on top of it, right? I remember I was lighting a candle every time I was writing an assessment, and whenever I was feeling tired and low, I would light a candle and just draw myself closer to God. And it just felt like being vulnerable, right? And giving myself space to really process everything that was happening, because things just piled up and I just didn't know how to deal with APC, family needs, work. It was just all over the place. And so I really had to learn that God is always there and he's always available and accessible. But for me to not access him was me operating from a place of resistance, if I could pull it at that, because stepping into that place where I felt vulnerable enough to say, oh God, it's tough, but I know I'm passing. I know you told me that this thing we are conquering, because I believe that you win in your mind first before you see results. So I knew I had won. I knew I had passed, but it was a daily battle to commit to the fact that I knew that, to commit to the fact that God promised that this thing will come to pass. But the everyday, the mundane, the going to the lectures, the writing the assignments, the reading the comments of the LCs and why you missed the issue, like all of that was fluff that I just had to get rid of. So I really encourage you to also make sure that you are protecting your spiritual needs and your spiritual self, whether that be listening to worship music, going to church, watching sermons, listening to podcasts, reading your Bible, whatever it is, because I genuinely believe we are spiritual beings first before we are natural beings. And if there's a deficit in that part of our life, then it kind of feels like our physical realm doesn't want to align. Like, you are pushing, you are doing things right, but inside is difficult. It's because you are not reading your Bible, you are not talking to the Almighty, you are not like tapping into your soul, tapping into peace, what you truly desire as a person. Over and above getting through APC is also desiring a sense of peace when you are going through this process. But yeah, APC is very difficult, right? And I think it's important to shine a light on the fact that mentally it is challenging. You are gonna have days where you just wanna throw in the towel and just say, I am done, I am finished. But there are methods and steps that you can take to limit the number of times you feel like that, because once that seed is in you, there might be something that just throws you off and you really step into that thing that you were thinking, giving up and just forsaking everything that you have been doing up until that point. So protect your peace, protect your sanity, do the things that make you happy. Like, if it means scheduling time to do nothing, schedule, put 30 minutes of doing nothing and put it as a blocker and do what you need to do just so that you can center yourself. Go out with friends, if that is what's feeding you, not distracting you, because some people just go out with their friends because they just need a distraction of what they're really facing, and then when they're supposed to face what they need to face, they kind of run away again. And avoiding is not dealing. you know. You have to like face your fears head first and like literally show up for yourself the best way that you can. It might not look perfect, it might not be what you think or presume showing up is supposed to look like, but the fact that you are there, the fact that you are crying but you are like 5 minutes back at it, that's what is important, you know. Not necessarily avoiding the pain, the trauma, the LCs, the you can do better, the your voice telling you, listen, I know you've gotten this far, but there ain't no way you are going to go through this last stretch. And those are the things that you need to cancel in your mind. And the ways that you can cancel them is, like I said, listening to worship music, sermons, working out, exercising, spending time with loved ones, making sure that you are forming companionship with your group. Guys, your group members are really people that you need to make sure that even if you guys came together just because of APC, make sure that you are also connecting on things outside of the triggers, outside of the issues, because when things get tough, you kind of need a motivation. And if your group is not your friends, it's very difficult to stay motivated and to keep showing up. So the fact that I was just lucky with my friends, like they kept me on check. Like I can't even explain the number of times we cried last year, the number of times we were on the verge of quitting, right? The number of times that we just felt we are not worthy, we are not equipped enough, we are not smart enough, our complexion isn't the right complexion to be writing APC. Like everything that was an odd came against us, but we were able to stand firm because of our friendship, because of taking turns and knowing that when one person had capacity and the other person didn't, then it meant that we had to be there for that person. So make sure that you are forming a true alliance with your group members so that when you guys are all successful at the end, you can look to each other and say, guys, we did this together. Even though it was a one person event, at the end of the day, we are all writing APC for ourselves. It's amazing to share in contribution with each other, you know, and that is something that I truly believe in. Contributing, making sure that you are growing, not by yourself, but with people around you, genuinely gives you fulfillment. It does not matter how well you will do in life, but if you do not have community to share your greatness, if you do not have a place where people can come together and really grow with you and you like literally being impactful in life, then there will always be a void inside of you, even though you are getting the accomplishments, the things that you want, the passings that you want, but then inside you are not fine. So make sure that you are aligned in all facets of physical, mental, spiritual, and prioritize yourself and your sanity. And guys, therapy. Therapy is not a bad idea. I mean, I will tell you the day I decided I'd go to therapy, it wasn't even a long story. It's not even something that I thought about before I went to therapy. I had literally failed the second assessment and I was going through the most. And I felt like, I'm trying to explain it, but things were piling up like this. Like I just felt like I can't. And it was happening so fast. And I kid you not, I took out my phone and I was like, therapist near me. It wasn't a thought. I literally typed therapist near me. It literally said there was 1 kilometer away. I made a phone call and I was like, I need to see somebody. They're like, who do you prefer? I'm like, I don't care, lady. I just need to see somebody. I'm not fine, you know? And I don't want somebody getting to that stage because some people don't have the self-awareness to realize that at that point in time, they need to reach out for help. Some people do other things. They use substances. They have suicidal thoughts. They have unworthy thoughts. They literally shrink into a depression. And I had the self-awareness to realize something is wrong in me and I need to reach out for help. And I did that. And I started going to therapy and I started talking about things that were really not APC related, but somehow managed and affected how I was doing in APC. And after going to therapy, I was able to pass myself. I was able to pass my final because there was no more clutter in my mind. I could think, I could be present in my writing. I could be present in assessing myself. The question, what I needed to do, even if I didn't know what was going on. Like, something in me was like, Lesotho, you can do this. Like, try. Like, you can do this. You've got a degree, 2 degrees behind your name, girl. When I figured this out, like, I would hype myself when I was answering tasks because I had enough to pour out of me. I wasn't empty. I wasn't running on empty at the end. I was running on empty before therapy, but at the end, when it really mattered, I pulled out for myself. I was like, we are not shrinking. We are not going to stay here in this place of unworthiness. We are going to activate our truest self, and we are going to give our best shot at this thing, irrespective of the fact that I feel like it's a giant that I'm coming against, that I have zero experience in facing, but I'm going to do my best. And I did my best. And look at God. We are here. We are past. We are almost there, So I really hope this video is going to encourage you to really do some healthy things, do some introspection, make sure that you are not forsaking your mental health and not speaking down on it and making it seem like it's minuscule, right? It's very important that you focus on self, so that you can pour out in your everyday, in this long journey, even though you might be at odds at work, at home, within yourself. The only thing that you kind of have control over at this point in time is how you speak to yourself, what is going on inside of you. Outside of you, you can't control that, but to prioritize yourself, to know when you are too overwhelmed, that you need a break, that I need to talk to friends, that I need to step away from this, I need to call my mom, I need to call my grandfather, I need to do something so that I can come back to myself, because you are doing amazing. You are doing great. You have done so much by virtue of you writing APC. You are competent, you are smart, you are worthy. The designation needs you. You need to make it through it. You need to make sure that you look yourself in the mirror, back yourself up, and know that you are strong enough to get over it. And once you even get over it, that you can even open up room for other people, which is what I want to do, is to say whenever you are progressing in your life, there is nothing wrong with turning back and fetching other people and telling them that they can do it, that even though they will come across situations that might go against them, that they are worthy and that they can do it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is my second last video of my APC series. I am glad that it has been helpful to you. The last one is a surprise. It is making me excited because I don't want to spoil it. But don't forget to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.